the kind of the way we're going to work is I'm going to put you guys down in a pose, but the reason why we had to switch from Friday to Saturday is because I was doing a demo, meaning that there was like a new studio opening here and like I had to teach them all a class and they had to like kind of see my like how I like to teach, and you guys know that I like to use Hindu mythology, right? Use that to sequence it around the class and then have like what the pose is dedicated to, using like that Sanskrit name to see if we can really personify the characteristics of the deities within the story when we practice, right? So like if it's a story about Ganesh, right, we try to feel like really grounded and welcoming of sensations into our body. So we'll try to do that. And then I just always seem to do it, Yasmin, like this story's around Skandasana. So either you're gonna really learn to love it or hate it. Okay. So that's what I'll tell the story once you guys are in Supta Baddha Konasana, lying on your backs. Okay, we don't have a lot of props today. You don't necessarily need them, but so that will be bottoms of your feet together, letting your knees drop wide and open apart. And then, Kendall, the more you bend your knees and walk your feet in closer to your hips, you're going to get more opening through your inner thighs. Good morning, Maria. Oh, international crowd today from all over. Okay. So as everyone settles in, feels in close to your sitting bones, feeling the pinky edge sides of your feet start to press together, we'll have this anatomical focus of stretching from the pubic bone all the way out through your inner knees. And from your inner knees, I want you to think that that energy wraps around to your outer knees, pulls down your outer thighs, and squeezes back into your glutes. Okay, so just to prepare, inhale. Exhale, lift your hips off the mat, just the hips, and squeeze your butt muscles as hard as you can, pulling your feet towards the back of your mat. Take another inhale. And then when you exhale, drop your hips, relax your glutes, and see if your knees widen open anymore when you do that. Okay, we're going to do one more like that. Inhale, full breath up into the chest. Lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, like around your sitting bones, inner, outer, front, back, right? 360 degrees, really squeeze. Take one more inhale, filling the lungs, and then exhale. Relax the hips down and open your knees. Thinking about your lungs like a piece of bubblicious bubble gum. Inhale fully. Keep inflating the lungs, inflating, inflating, inflating. Pause, hold. Don't exhale. Inhale more. And then out through your mouth with sound, exhale. Right? And that's what I like about Zoom. You're at home. Don't worry. No one can hear you. Just let it all out. One more. Inhale. Fill up. Blow into the bubble of the lungs. Pause, hold. And then you take that extra sip of air in to make sure you're full. And then out through your mouth, exhale. Okay, now that you're settled into your body, start to find your ujjayi breath, which sounds like on the inhale, vacuuming fog off of a mirror. And on an exhale, it's like putting the fog back onto a mirror. And then in your mind's eye, I want you to transport yourself to a little tiny village in a kingdom in India where Shiva and Parvati live. So Shiva and Parvati live in this dwelling with their son Skanda and Ganesh. Okay. And they have a mango, and it's mango season here in Miami. And they have a mango, and they tell their sons, whichever one of you circles the world 3 times the fastest, you're going to get this mango. And the mango, when you eat it, held all the knowledge of the universe. So Skanda, he's the lord of war. He's a leader. He rides this big, beautiful peacock, right? He's a little bit arrogant. He thinks he knows everything. So before he even waits for the final instructions, he sets off on his peacock and starts circling the world. But Ganesh just sits there for a moment and he pauses and reflects. He's like, really, what is my world all about? What is really important to me? And he decides that his world are his parents, his home, his family. So he takes 3 little circles around his parents, and his parents are see that he really understands like the true nature of his intention, what's important, and they offer him the mango. And so as we practice here today, I tend to be more like Skanda. I rush off. I'm in a hurry. I don't wait for full instructions. I think I know. And so we want to offer this practice up to being a little bit more humble, being more curious, and keeping your mind on your mat, and make sure you keep circling with the breath, circling the things that are really important to you. One more breath together. Inhale, exhale. Happy baby pose. So everybody pick up your feet, split your feet, grab the pinky edge sides. If you can't reach the pinky edge sides, you could always hold your inner ankle or the inner heel. And try to draw the heels right over the center of your knees. And see if you could feel how that's the 90-degree angle that we take in the leg when we take a lunge. Right? We're stepping the feet forward. Press the tailbone down. As you pull on the pinky edge sides of your feet, inhale, exhale. Keep your left leg exactly as it is, and then lengthen and extend your right leg fully forward to the top of your mat. Good, Pia. Pressing your right heel down into the ground. And as you press your right heel down, you should feel your hamstring engage. Bring your awareness to the top of your right thigh. And then from the top of your right thigh, stretch forward through the center of your right knee, through the core of your right heel. And then for one last breath, see if you can pull down any more through the left foot to the left knee. Bend your right knee, pick it back up. Happy baby pose. Inhale. Exhale, release left leg, extend left heel all the way forward. The other way that I tend to feel this, you guys, is I imagine a block underneath my right knee, and I try to press my right knee down into the block, down into the floor. As you split your thighs open wide, spread left toes, flex left foot, inhale, exhale. Left knee bends back in, happy baby pose. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit. Arch your low back. Think to spread your sitting bones. Right leg extends all the way forward. This is going to be like our lizard lunges. And then use your right hand to guide your left knee across the body, coming into a very simple supine twist. Good, Yasmin. Yeah, exactly. Okay, now remember, most of us just use that right hand to push the left knee down. What happens when you press your left knee up into your hand? Does it give you any more control, any more power, I should say, to lengthen the spine more and then twist through the ribs? Inhale. Exhale as you stretch out through all 5 left fingertips, reach. And then come back to center, happy baby pose. So see, you guys, if you keep repeating happy baby pose, if it starts to open, Pressing down through the back of the skull, the back of the shoulders. Left leg extends forward. This is your lizard lunge. And I say that because in a lunge, right, our back leg would be really active. And then left hand helps to guide right knee across the body, rolling to the outside edge of your left hip. Simple supine twist. So if we try to take this story, you guys, Skanda thinks he knows everything. And for years, right, I just thought I should be pressing my knee down. It's when you start to explore, maybe you can feel something different. Press the knee up into the hand. See if you can squeeze more together between your inner thighs. And then once you have that power in your hips, lengthen up out of your low back, mid back. I'm even walking my shoulder blades back as my spine lengthens. Inhale, exhale. Last one, come back to center, happy baby pose. Deep into your Ujjayi breath, fog off the mirror, fog on the mirror. Now bring the bottoms of your feet together to touch. Interlace your fingers over the pinky edge sides of your feet. Exactly. And then as you bend your elbows, pull the arches of your feet towards your belly button and see if you can widen your knees open. It would be just like if you were sitting on the floor, right? We'd be trying to take our knees forward and down. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the feet. Lift up your head, your neck, your shoulders, rounding your spine, right? So that's full spinal flexion. Stretch your arms straight forward. Flex at your wrists. Squeeze your knees in against your triceps and feel your adductors engage. Inhale. Exhale, feet lower down. Reach your arms up overhead. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, full sit up. Come all the way up. As you come up into your full sit up, left hand outside edge of right knee, right fingertips back behind you. Okay, so if you're anything like me, the knee that you're twisting away from, you let it lift. Keep pressing that knee back and down through center. Inhale. And then change sides. Right hand holds onto left knee. Try with the push pulling, right? Like, so I actually press my left knee down into my right hand and I pull up against that to twist in. Perfect. Come back to center. Cross your ankles. Roll over your feet. Meeting me in tabletop position. Great. So from tabletop, toes are tucked. Inhale, cow. Keep the sitting bones rolling up. Downward facing dog, please. Okay, so in that first down dog, don't rush, don't be in a hurry. Like, don't think that just because you've been here before, you know exactly what you're going to experience. Right? Feel it for the first time. Down dog, pedal out your legs. 3, 2, 1. Knees down to the mat, tabletop position. Inner knees come together to touch. Now, extend your left leg straight back. You do not have to lift it up high, right? You want to keep, just like when you were on the floor, the back of the heel in line with the back of the hip. Spread the left toes, engage the left kneecap, right? And then lifting from the hamstring, pull the chest forward. Inhale, open like cow pose. Now, left knee, tap, touch, outside edge of left shoulder. Can you get it up past your elbow, past your tricep? Feel the oblique. Send that back. Inhale, open. Feel the breath. Exhale, round in, filling up in between your shoulder blades. Take that little pause as you press your tricep and knee together. One more time, please. Inhale, open. Less glute, more hamstring. And then exhale, round in. And now you're going to hold that there. Push the floor away, round into your upper back. And can you step without momentum your left foot outside edge of your left hand? Good. We'll keep our left hand on the inside. Tuck your back left toes. Lizard lunge. That should feel like exactly what you were doing on the floor, right? It'd be that left leg in the happy baby pose. So you drive down through your left heel. Keep your back knee lifted. And can you lower your right forearm down to the sticky mat? If you have to put the back knee, that's fine. Now, as you look forward, not just with the chin, not just through the neck, but pulling the chest forward, use your left fingertips like a spider crawling forward. Reach that out. Feel the stretch through the adductor. Inhale. Exhale, hands walk back underneath your shoulders. Step back. Downward facing dog. Okay, take your time. Stay in your down dog. Lift your heels. Lift your heels as high up. Great, Maria. Up away from the mat as you can. Look back at your feet. Squeeze an imaginary block between your inner ankles, inner knees, inner thighs. Look at your kneecaps, lift them up, engage your quadriceps. And as you do that, can you turn your sitting bones up any more? And then drive your heels down and back. Knees to the mat, tabletop position. Inner knees come together to touch. Extend right leg straight back, driving through the heel. Okay. Pull your outer shoulders back as you drive your chest through. Inhale, cow. Exhale, add the leg, pull it in and up as you round into cat. Yep, touching the knee to the tricep. Inhale, back open. Exhale, tuck in, round. Can you pick up that right foot? Pick up your right shin. Definitely feel the obliques. And one more. That extends back. More hamstring, less glute. Exhale, now try to power of the pause. Hold. This is like Ganesh. She like thinks about it. What do you want to do as you try to step that right foot outside edge of right hand? Back left knee lifts. Use the power of your right knee squeezing in and your right tricep pressing out to get a deeper stretch. Either put your left elbow onto a block or left elbow all the way down onto the sticky mats. And then your right fingertips crawl forward. Okay, so a big part of today's class can also be like dropping your head, right? Like in the yoga philosophy, that's really like dropping your thinking, analyzing mind, trying to get more into the sense of feeling. It's a little bit more humble as you bow in. Hands walk back underneath your shoulders. Press back, downward facing dog. One more time. Lift your heels up. See when you do that, that your kneecaps lift and then all the way up into your hip creases, like your hip flexors. Try to bring the front rim of your pelvis closer to your thighs. Your sitting bones are up. Squeeze the imaginary block between your heels and now drag your heels down and back. Keeping your sitting bones tall. As you look at your feet, try to widen your heels open. As you widen your heels open, you're going to feel your outer hips engage. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg lifts up and back. Three-legged down dog. Okay. Look back at that left leg, you guys. Are your left toes lifted? Is the kneecap up, quadricep engaged? So it's the same energy that you just had in your down dog, but now on one leg as you drag that left heel down and back. Right foot steps outside edge of right hand, lizard lunge. Left foot steps wide, top of your sticky mat. Good. Hands come to your shins. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Ardha Uttanasana. And now as you hold your ankles, feel like you're going to try to pull your rib cage through as you fold in here, rounding your spine, dropping your head. Inhale. Squeeze the belly button back towards the spine as you exhale. Malasana. Bend your knees, turn your feet open 45 degrees. Elbows go against the inner knees as you squat down. So one of the ways, you guys, that I would do this pose is to lift all 10 toes because otherwise I'm shifting too far forward. If we lift all 10 toes, the weight shifts back. Ground into your heels as you press to rise. Parallel your feet. Inhale, full stretch, arms up, reach. Bend knees, lower slow, Malasana, down into your squats. Fingertips to the mat as you straighten the legs. Inhale, half flat back. Step your left foot back, lizard lunge. Keep your left hand planted as your right arm extends up towards the ceiling. Simple twist. Inhale, look up, stretch up. Exhale, hand to the mat, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, flow forward into plank pose. Point toes, come on to the tops of the feet to stretch out the ankles. Root through the tailbone, push the floor, feel cat pose in your upper back. Excellent, Kendall. Everybody look forward, drop the knees, roll the shoulder blades down your back as you bend your elbows. Keep your chest open. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. So if you want to do that little kind of those micro movements, like lift your heels quickly, engage the front of the legs, turn the sitting bones up, drag the heels down and back, lift the toes, and then left leg lift, three-legged down dog. Left foot steps, outside edge of left hand, lizard lunge. Right foot steps wide, top of your sticky mat. Hands to shins, inhale, open. Keep your knees as bent as you need. Find lumbar curve. Exhale, rib cage through the thighs. You could almost think like you're flexing your spine, chin to chest as you round in. There you go. Bend knees, drop hips, sit low. Malasana. As you dig into your heels, press all the way to stand. Parallel your feet, root tailbone. Inhale, reach up maybe a little bit higher. Go for it, grow for it. Exhale, Malasana all the way down and in. Inhale. Exhale, fingertips to the mat, right foot steps back, lizard lunge. Back left, right knee stays lifted, plant right hand, left hand up, simple twist here. So it's all the same actions, you guys, that we've already been doing. You're just adding a little bit of load as you stretch here. Hands to the mat, press all the way back, downward facing dog. Good, Maria. Yep. Inhale, lift heels, shift forward, plank pose. Take your time. And so that's one of the big things about like this story. Like Ganesh stops, he pauses, he thinks, right? Very mindful about what you're doing, pointing your toes, hook through the tailbone, drop the knees, keep hooking through the tailbone, bend elbows, shrug the shoulders back. Broad across your collarbones as you feel your pubic and belly button touch. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to stretch back, downward facing dog. Holding here, 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Are you mindful of how you're using your feet, your ankles, your legs as you try to lift your hips up off the top of your femur bones? And then as you look forward, step your big toes together at the top third of your mat. Give yourself a little bit of space. Good, Pia. Everybody inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Now with your legs together, right, it's going to be a much more intense hamstring stretch as you fold in. Bend knees, drop hips, sit low, chair pose. Whenever you need to, you lift all 10 toes, drop the weight back into the heels. Okay, now can you lift your heels up off the mat? Balancing here, take your arms out wide, and can you put your chest on your kneecap, or your chest on your knees. Keep lifting your heels for 3, 2, 1. Hands to the mat, step back, top of your push-up plank pose. Release your hip flexors. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, full upward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, remember how we lift the leg, lift from the hamstring, right leg lifts, 3-legged down dog. Keep your front ribs collected and in. And now put your hands on the lids of two, the lid of like 2 imaginary mason jars, right? And think that you're turning the lids open. See if that fires up your shoulders more. And then step your right foot forward up in between your hands, lunge. Spin your back, left heel to flat, heel to back arch alignment. Now, either on a block or with your right hand on the inside edge of your right foot. Good. Press your right knee into the right shoulder. Widen your right knee open as you squeeze your right sitting bone in and extend your left arm up towards the ceiling. Parsva Konasana, side angle pose. And then reach and extend left arm over your left ear. Main focus here is engaging the adductor, pulling the right sitting bone back towards your left heel, and trying to come into an open twist. Hands to the mat, top of your push-up, plank pose. Inhale, plank. Shoulder blades onto the upper back as you lower chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, hips lift, Adho Mukha. Left leg floats, three-legged down dog. Both legs are still in that active connection of spreading the toes, engaging the kneecaps. Step your left foot forward, up in between your hands, lunge. Right heel spins the flat, heel to back arch alignment. Use the block if you need to, or left hand inside edge of left shin bone. Good, nice. Hook the tailbone under. There, yes, exactly. Now extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. So everything's kind of like a teeter-totter. The more you press your left knee open, the more that left hip is going to swing in, and then the top right hip can roll open. Extend right arm over right ear. Side angle. Find the connection to the back foot. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hand to the mat, top of your push-up, plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bend elbows, chaturanga, yoga push-up. Inhale, pull forward, up dog. So even here, you guys, you could pretend like your hands around the lids of the mason jars and turn them open and see if that powers up your upper back more. Downward facing dog. And you're there for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Play with the rotation of your hands to check in with your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Step the feet together, top of your mat, big toes touch. 1 more here. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold and bring your rib cage towards your thighs. Uttanasana. Bend knees, drop hips, sit low, chair pose. Okay, great. And then this is where you add the balance. Lift the heels, hinge forward, chest to thighs. And now split your knees, hands down. Knees are on your triceps, just like what we've been doing, squeezing in. Before you try to come up, flex your spine, round like cat. And then can you use your hamstrings to pull your feet, your heels up towards your sitting bones? Bakasana, balancing here for 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Good job. Step back. Top of your push-up, plank. Catch your breath. Wait for the pause. Inhale. Exhale. Move through your vinyasa. Okay, so like when I did this demo, no one knew what vinyasa meant. Pia should know what vinyasa means. Vinyasa means to place your body in a special way. So we're being very specific about how we're using our fingertips, our toe tips, using your kneecaps as you press up and back. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Right leg up and back. 3-legged down dog. Bend your right knee so that you're squeezing your right heel towards your right sitting bone first. Flex your foot, good Kendall, so everybody's hamstring should be working. And now roll and open your right hip. Can you guys feel that as Skandasana pose? Right? The way we split the legs open, stretching the inner thigh. Right foot steps forward up in between your hands, lunge. Pause on fingertips. Tuck the tailbone under. First, it's cat pose. And then once you have that hooking of your tailbone up into your pelvic floor, front of your pelvis lifts. Lift to rise. High lunge. Remember that back leg? Is it straight like it was in your down dog? You inhale here. Exhale, right hand back, left hand forward, twist. Inhale, center. Over your back leg. Skandasana. Turn that left foot open. Bend the back left knee as you stretch to the inseam of your right leg. Now we're going to go around the world 3 times. Come back up. Inhale, high lunge. Back heels lifted. Left hand back, or sorry, right hand back, left hand forward, twist. Back through center, over your back left leg. Skandasana. Pushing the weight back into the heels. One more time, follow your breath. High lunge. Inhale. Right hand back, right through your mid-back twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, Skandasana. Back through your high lunge. Stick it here. Yep, the more you push the floor away, you stretch up through side body. Hands to the mat. If you want to do a one-legged plank to a one-legged chaturanga, inhale, full Urdhva Mukha. Check in with your breath. Exhale, hips lift. Up and back, Adho Mukha. And always exhale out through your mouth. Maybe try to come back, reflect on the story a little bit. Are you rushing? And are we getting ahead of ourselves? Take your time. Lift your left leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. Don't open the hip yet. Squeeze the left heel in towards the left sitting bone. Pia, for you, when you do that, it should maybe start to get your quadricep a little bit. And then rotate that left hip open. Thanks, Skandasana. Prepare here. Left foot steps forward, lunge. Pause on fingertips. Check your back leg, right? So be mindful here as you push away and lift to rise, high lunge. Okay, so then remember, like Ganesh stops and thinks like what's really important to him. Okay, and like what's important to me is not being perfectly in balance. What's important to me is keeping the mind kind of calm and grounded and keep trying to come back and find it. Inhale. Exhale, left hand back, right hand forward, reach from the back of the heart. Inhale, back through center, high lunge. Over your back right leg, press, sink, down and back. All right, now I'm gonna be quiet. 2 more full rounds. Circle your own, like whatever is important to you. Try to focus on that. Maybe it's just the breath. Inhale. Three times, one more. Up through high lunge. Where do you need to find opening? Hands to the mat. Very good, everybody. If you want to pick up that left foot, one-legged plank to a one-legged chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, hips lift, up and back. Downward facing dog. Knees to the mat, tabletop. Point your toes, push your hips back towards your heels. Bend your elbows. Walk your triceps forward as you pull your hips back. Feel your hands in prayer. And now as you straighten your arms, open your palms, dropping your head through your upper arm bones. Cupping your hands open. So remember I said we try to like personify or characterize turning inward, self-reflection, bowing, hands open. What am I willing to give? What am I willing to receive? Inhale. Exhale. Tabletop position. Okay. Last little bit here, you guys. Downward facing dog. We're going to flow from here. Remember how to lift that right leg. So lift it up, then bend the heel in. Once your heel is in and you feel your hamstring contracted, then open that right hip. Concentrate on the stretch of the left leg, right? The toes are lifted. All of that work is the same in your left leg, trying to straighten it. Step your right foot forward, lunge. Back left heel spins the flat. Prepare for a warrior one. So that means make sure your feet are in a wide enough base. Lift to rise. Warrior one. Okay, warrior one. Left hip is turning forward. Right hip is turning or drawing back. Interlace the hands. The variation. Now, what all of us are going to do, it's like that teeter-totter, but you're going to do it wrong. You're going to stick the butt out and let the knee collapse in. No, remember, we're always pressing the knee out and firming that left hip in as you bow on the inside of your front right leg. Humble warrior. So are you pressing your shoulder and knee together? Are you using that feeling of being anchored to try to spread your thigh bones wide apart? 3, you're flexing the spine. 2, 1, keep the legs. Hands to the mat. Okay, back left foot, your back left foot. Walk it over until you're in heel to back arch alignment. Look forward. Both hands are spiders. Remember at the beginning of class? Walk those forward and then walk them out to the side at a 45-degree angle off to the left. Yep, on fingertips. The work is still in the legs. As you try to sink your rib cage, stretch open through your armpits, and spread your thigh bones apart. Inhale. Exhale, nice, Yasmin. Good. Hands walk back underneath your shoulders. Now keep pivoting to the left as you parallel your feet. Inhale to lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, fold in here. You can line your fingertips up with your toe tips. If you have a headstand practice, you can feel free to come up here. But the other thing that some of you guys could work is trying to lift your heels up off the mat. Like what we've been doing all class. Just lift your heels. Exactly, Yasmin. And if you just lift your heels and lift your kneecaps and feel the work up into your hip creases, your legs probably stretch a lot more. Nice. The wider you take your legs, the bigger the stretch. If you're, please slowly come down. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Turn to the top of your mat, low lunge. Your choice. Move through the vinyasa, or if you need, just go straight back into your down dog to hold. And then check in. So it's always the second side, you guys, especially that I get more like skanda, right? Because I'm like, oh, I know what we're doing. And I rush. Take your time. Left leg lifts. Wait for it as you squeeze that left heel into your left sitting bone. The more you contract your hamstring, the more the quadricep will stretch. Split your knees open wider and then roll that left hip open and try to find your skanda. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps forward up in between your hands, lunge. Back right heel spins to flat. Scoop it up through the front rim of your pelvis. Warrior one. Right hip a little bit more forward. Interlace your hands, C variation. Okay, so offer the heart, open. Breathe, full expansion. Humble warrior, bowing in. You have the tuck of the tailbone, the little lift through the abdominals. And then keep your legs as you plant your hands onto the mat. Step that right foot, heel to back arch alignment. Look forward. Crawl your fingertips forward first. Get length through the side body, and then out at that 45-degree angle. And then just encouraging you guys, you're not here for much longer. Just really go for it. If you have any more stretch, you can get through that inner thigh. And then hands walk back underneath your shoulders as you parallel your feet. Hands to hips, elbows up, flat back. Lift to stand. Okay, heels in, toes out. Bend knees, goddess squat. So it's a lot like your malasana. Okay, it's a lot like maybe like the happy baby. So remember at the beginning of class when I said happy baby, you're using your glutes. Fire up your glutes. And you guys, everybody, let's take our hands to our knees. Make it a little bit easier, Kendall. Yep. Elbows to the inner knees. I straighten my arms. I shrug my shoulders up near my ears. And then I just really sink down into the pose. With your elbows locked in straight. Inhale. Exhale, dip that front left shoulder to the middle of the mat as you look out over your right shoulder. Let it feel yummy. Let it feel good. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, switch. Change sides. Think the teeter-totter. The more you press your right knee open, the right hip squeezes in. One more round. Inhale, center. Exhale. Use your hand, you guys. Stretch it open. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist. Okay, now as you come back to center, slide your hands down your ankles until your till your elbows come right to your inner knees. Use your elbows, squeeze the glutes. Cow pose through your hips, lift your heart. Can you look forward, Kendall? Yes. 3. Maybe lift the 10 toes. 2. Widen the thighs as you release your hands to the mat. Parallel your feet as you pivot, turn. Low lunge. Last vinyasa, step it back. Plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Roll over toes. Downward facing dog. Out on a long exhale breath. Right foot steps, outside edge of right hand, lizard lunge. Back, left knee down. You can always turn your right foot open at that 45-degree angle. Right arm, reach it forward, up and around as your thumb turns up towards the ceiling. And then fold that back left foot in. Remember, left heel to left sitting bone. Okay. Right, so this is the one way that I always used to do it, you guys. I always used to do it as a twist and a little bit of a back bend. What's it like instead if you turn your belly button and your heart and your gaze down towards the floor. Come down onto maybe your elbow or a block and think more like that humble warrior, bowing down and in on the inside of that front leg. Yep. And then Pia, right? Like the more you bow straight forward, I feel it more like in the center of my quadricep. We're always dragging the left knee slightly forward. Tuck the tailbone. Inhale. Exhale. Release the foot, plant the palms. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps outside edge of left hand. Just keep repeating shapes. Lizard lunge first. Back knee down. You can turn that left foot open. That's kind of like your malasana. And then as the weight shifts into your right hand, up and over, circling that left hand back. Squeeze right heel in towards right sitting bone. Quadricep stretch. And that's really fine. Yeah. And if you put your hand up on a block, it makes it a little bit easier. Twist, back bend, heart opening. And if you want to experience it like a little bit differently, look forward and down, turn the belly, turn the chest, and lower down the midline of your mat. Are you still stepping strong into your left foot? Pressing into your right knee. Inhale. Exhale. Release the foot. Step back. Downward facing dog. Feet step forward together at the top of your sticky mat. Bend your knees, sit low as you split your knees open, Baddha Konasana. Okay, now you're gonna wrap your arms around you like a big hug. I'm kind of holding on to my shoulders. This is more of a yin pose, you guys, okay? We're gonna be here for just a little bit. And then with your chin to your chest, round in here. Using the heaviness of your head, the flexing of your spine, your hands kind of helping to pull and broaden your upper back. And you drop your elbow. Yeah, and breathe in here into the fullness in the back body. You can keep your legs as you come back up to center. And I'm just going to change the cross, right? I always want to balance. I always want to put the opposite elbow on top, the one that doesn't feel so dominant. And then fold. And again here, maybe close your eyes. Humbly bow in. I don't know, years ago, a teacher said, like, when you fold in, it's like turning into the cave of the heart. And those words kind of always like stuck with me, like turn into the cave of your intention, that feeling, that space that you wanted to create this morning or this afternoon, dropping your head. And surrender in. Inhale. Exhale. Roll back up through your spine. And if you don't have a strap, right, that's okay. But maybe if you have a strap, you're going to come to lie down. Pick up your feet. Happy baby pose. And if you wanted to put a strap over the ball of the left foot, you're going to straighten your left leg out to the side, keeping your right knee bent. And you can almost imagine in a lot of ways like that Skandasana shape. When you're ready, left knee bends. Take your time if you need to change the strap and extend your right leg out to the side, stretching that whole inseam. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center. Happy baby pose. And then split and open both legs wide here. Okay, so sometimes I like to hold the pinky edge sides of the feet. Sometimes I like to sit up a little until I can grab my inner heels, flex the feet, and use the hands on the heels to try to drive the legs down. Or I could put my hands on my ankles or my calves and try to help push the legs down here. Good. Okay. Bending your knees, step your feet into the mat. Hold your hands over your heart, close your eyes. Right? And so when Shiva and Parvati asked them to like circle the world, like Ganesh really thought about like what that signified to him, what was important, right? What he needed. And so you have time for one last pose, okay? So whatever you need, is it a back bend? Is it a twist? Is it maybe left ankle over your right knee doing thread the needle if you need more hip work? Is it taking Shavasana, right? Do you need more quad? Find something that you feel, oh, I love it. Kendall's doing legs up the wall. That's a nice one, right? Find what your body needs. And if you're doing something that you need to do both sides, stay for about 3 more breaths. And then change sides. And then when you're ready, Kendall, you can stay there if you like to stay there. If you want to do legs up the wall, anyone, that's a really nice idea. Or coming into Shavasana. Okay, so there's a couple parents in here on the Zoom call, right? And so I think at a certain age, my parents were the center of my world, and then they weren't anymore, right? And then now, the older I get, the more like that type of like being able to come home. like be your fullest, most authentic self is becoming like more and more important. So before you go out, because it's the weekend and maybe you're going to be with your families and stuff, like think about like what's really important to you. Try to kind of like create that bubble and keep it with you as you get ready to go out into the rest of your day. So start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms up overhead. And then as you bend your knees, roll to the right and come up to find seated. Then fold your hands in front of your heart center and Anjali Mudra. Take your thumbs to your third eye as you bow forward to seal your practice. Jai, Siddhatma. Jai.